name's Derek, aka Spiro King on Instagram. I am going to do my first YouTube edit, and the goal being to start putting out some of the content that I've accumulated over the past few years, and also keeping more current as I'm going on trips and doing different diving adventures. This video is going to be a trip that I took to Southern California, my first bluefin tuna trip, and also the first tuna that I ever shot. So I hope you guys enjoy. We're about 100 miles offshore, trolling around looking for tuna, and we had seen some splashes off in the distance, and so we headed that direction. As we approach where those splashes were coming from, Captain Christos here is reminding us to stay calm, breathe up, try to relax, but also keep an eye out on the water for splashes so that we can make sure to keep track of where these fish are, with hopefully an opportunity to get over, get them under the boat, and get a chance to dive in. Definitely one of the more challenging parts in this is, like you saw here, we've spotted the fish. Captain's letting us know they're big fish. We've been waiting for this all day long, and now it's time to try to calm ourselves down and prepare for a dive, where we're going to drop down, hold our breath, hopefully pick a fish out of the school and put a good shot on it. So this is definitely no easy task, but Captain Christos walked us through every step of this and really prepared us for the best opportunity at these fish, that's for sure. So here we go. We've marked the fish. Captain Christos let us know how deep they are, and we're in the water ready to dive. I'm going to try to breathe up here a little bit. It's funny, you can hear Captain Christos yelling in the background, go, go, go. But he's also let me know, take your time, relax, and get a good dive, because you don't want to rush your dive and not have a chance at the fish. So drop in here. I believe I dropped to about 30 feet. So these fish came up quite a bit from the 60 feet he had originally called. I'm leveling out here. I see an eyeball and I take a shot. And I am fired up right now. I hit this fish, and as I approach the surface, you'll see my float tombstoned, and we got a fish on.
Yeah. Nice one, nice one. It's not, I don't think it's a huge one, but it was good size.
So I've got my second float. This is what we call a fighting float. I'm going to put that on my bungee and just slowly pull this fish to the surface. I have a 75-foot bungee line, but that thing is stretched out probably 200%. So I got about 150 feet of bungee to pull up here with a large fish on the other end. I'm going to mute this clip and speed it up 5x because it takes quite a bit to get this fish near the surface.
This fucking thing's strong. Am I okay? I just shot a fucking tuna. Am I okay?
Okay, look, you can dive do another dive. You feel good?
Yeah.
Christos has given us a backup gun, which is a smaller gun that has no tip on the end of it, so we can take a kill shot on this fish without getting tied into it. If we need to take a second shot, we can just simply pull the shaft out and reload and shoot it a second time. He's wanting to make sure that I'm capable of doing this drop, as he realizes, probably more than I realize, that I'm likely pretty gassed from fighting this fish. And here you can see I take a drop down on this fish. I'm trying to put a kill shot in it, but I just have no breath hold at all. So instead of taking a bad shot, I just decide to pop back up to the surface and give my buddy a go at taking this second shot on this fish for me. Or at least that's what I had planned. As we're trying to get situated to put this shot on the fish, you can see this thing's not happy at all. It goes for another run and buries that backup float and takes quite a bit of line down with it. So I've fought the fish back up to the surface, and now Jeff is going to take a drop and put a second shot on this fish. And I'm going to follow him down a little bit, try to get video of it. You can see him hit it right there, and it turns out to be a pretty good shot because it hit it in an artery, and you can see the blood pumping out of this fish, which takes most of the life out of this fish, although it definitely was not dead at this point. Despite having a ton of adrenaline pumping this whole time, I had felt like I had stayed pretty calm the entire fight until about this moment. I start to realize how big this fish is and how powerful this thing is, and I got super excited, but I also got nervous because I had not dealt with a fish of this size, so I wasn't exactly sure how to go about handling it. You can see here I just frantically start stabbing it in the head, and I wasn't even hitting it in the brain at all. But I stabbed it about 30 times, and I thought I'd killed it, but I find out here pretty soon that, in fact, was not the case. You can tell here how excited I am because I am laughing uncontrollably. I'm so stoked right now to have shot this dream fish that I can't hardly contain it. And I'm trying to do my best to manage lines and pay attention. I'm also fairly nervous swimming this huge fish over, knowing that it's not all the way dead. And you'll see here in just a second, that thing takes off a little bit, and I try to grab its tail here, and just that little kick of its tail, my hand was sore for probably a week after that. So it really showed me the true power of these fish. They're absolutely incredible. So the last step in this process, or so I thought, was getting a tail rope on this fish and getting the rope to the captain. Once that's done, I kind of considered the fish secured, but I find out shortly after this that's not always the case. Right after I got back on the boat, I hopped back in to load my spear gun. And as I get my third band on, I look over, and there's a huge Mako shark. And I'm between the shark and this tuna hanging off of the side of the boat. He comes in and checks me out. It startled me big time at first, but I was able to start my GoPro after the first time I saw it, and got a chance to take a peek at it a couple times while I was in the water.
I'm not loaded all the way. I'm going to load first.
I had several people tell me after the fact I should have shot this Mako. I guess they are really good eating. I haven't had it myself. But I had the captain yelling at me from the boat not to shoot it, and my gun wasn't fully loaded, and I didn't have my slip tip on, so probably would have ended poorly. And fortunately, we had no incident with the shark, and we were able to get this fish on the boat, and Captain Christos began to gut and gill the fish. He uses a specific technique to save the belly of the bluefin, which is one of the most prized parts of this fish. So he's able to make a small incision around the tuna's anus, cut all the gills, and then pull all the guts and everything up out the head of this fish. That way there's no incision made down the stomach of this fish, thus saving all the turo, which is the belly meat of the bluefin tuna. And as customary, I have to take a bite of my first ever bluefin tuna heart.